Noticed I'm doing a bit of rushing around, and that's because I'm on a bit of a tight time frame. I told him I'd have this car back by 8. I might time myself. 3 minutes and 27 minutes. It's a service and a brake pad change. Let's get it. Right, so you may have noticed I'm doing a bit of rushing around, and that's because I'm on a bit of a tight time frame. The time is now 19:02. I told him I'd have this car back by 8. I did go for food, which took a little bit longer than expected. So I'm going to be sort of rattling through this a little bit. It's a service and a brake pad change, 1 litre 3-cylinder Astra. Let's get it. In fact, I might time myself, because I do want to try and get this done within the hour. So let's set a timer. I've left it running to warm up. Why have I gone to my camera? Because I'm panicking and rushing. Timer, 1 hour, get rid of 20. Why has it started 2 timers? Right. Timer is on. Let's get it. Let's go. Engine off. One of the best messages I've ever been sent was from him, and that was to tell me that the locking wheel nut key is on the passenger seat. That is just considerate. I'm a fan. Most people were more considerate and told me exactly where the locking wheel nut key was, rather than me having to rummage through the boot. Get the locking wheel nut key opened. $19mm. Always break off the locking wheel nut by hand, not with a gun, so you don't knacker it. Easy. Same on the other side. Now we can swap to the gun. Look at the jacking point. Quite nice, we can get the fat body underneath. Set the under tray off. So first thing I want to do actually is get the engine oil draining. Let's find out what size the under tray fits. The floor's really wet. It's only the under trays in 2 halves. They all look like 8mm fixings. So I'll grab the 8 now. I might go for a deep 8 actually. So I've got the length. Not that 8. Obviously it's a 7. Wouldn't be anything easy, would it? We'll go back on the gun with the 7. Cool. So is it the same as a 1 litre EcoBoost? It's more like this, more like a PSA engine. The oil filter is hand tight, as it should be, which I'm a fan of. Let's whip this off nice and quick. I'm going to leave the camera running for the whole thing and edit out most of my rushing around. Making no promises. Let's grab a 17 and a 16.5 inch. So if I bring you underneath here, I've already had the engine warming up. Drain plug is not a 16, it's a 15. So while we're doing this, I'll talk you through the owner a little bit. The guy who owns this car bought the Mitsubishi Lancer 1.5 petrol, the 2010 one off me, or 2011, not too long ago. He loves that car, thinks it's great. This is their other, I guess, family car, the Daily. Now, he said that this hasn't been serviced in about 2 years, which is fine. I've looked at the mileage. The mileage is only around 30,000 miles, so it's probably actually not that bad that it's not been serviced in that time. And I mean, for a petrol, yes, the oil looks dirty, but for whatever reason, wet belt engines do tend to look quite dirty. It has been serviced, obviously, within that time. It's got a Crossland Air oil filter on it. I don't remember servicing it, so I don't think it was me who did that. Plus, I try and avoid the cheaper oil filters if I can. I have made myself dirty in the process of doing that because I'm rushing. Let's grab a rag. I'm going to need a new rag because that one's full of water and it's made the situation worse. Okay, so the engine oil's draining. Once the engine oil drains, I'm going to whip out the spark plugs. They're all 10mm, so we'll get that good to go. Sorry if the camera angles are a bit rubbish. I am, as you're already aware, doing rushing. So we've got one long bolt for each one of the coil packs on this sort of metal bracket that all the wiring is attached to. So I'll fold that out of the way, pop out these coil packs. 1, 2, 3. So it's 15mm. Very deep and very long. And they're at kind of a 45-degree angle as well. Head, which is different. Oh, this is not a wet belt engine, this is a timing chain. I believe it is a timing chain. So that's good. 1 litre 3-cylinder, non-turbo. It is a turbo, sorry, I can see a great big massive turbo in my face. Like I say, I don't know anything about these newer Astras. 2019 plate. Literally not a thing. But the fact that I know nothing.
Another one of yours?
No, not one of mine.
Oh.
Far too new for me. Far too new. Yes, the fact that I know nothing about these cars and am able to service it quite easily, I think just goes to show that you shouldn't be scared of a service. It really is. On smaller cars anyway, like these, your sort of mainstream everyday cars, the servicing is really easy on them and is genuinely a pleasure to do sometimes. Like this, really easy access to everything. It's pretty obvious what needs to get done and where. So you can't really go too wrong with it. A couple of YouTube videos and some basic tools and you're aware. The spark plugs don't need doing every service unless you're doing crazy mileage. This is on 30,000 miles, it's a 2019 car. Could we have left the plugs another year? Yeah, probably, but Now he's safe for another 30 to 40,000 miles. I think the change interval on these is probably something crazy like 50 or 60,000. Maybe even more for spark plugs. They tend to be on newer cars. Cool, so that's done. Let's get the bracket put back on. It's good because I've got the timer on that saying I'm 21 minutes in. And I've got the timer on my phone to check. Very soon. A lot of timers going on to add stress and pressure to my life. It's my own fault for taking a long evening meal. I probably should have been a bit quicker and a bit less fat. There we go. I ain't getting any quicker and I ain't getting any skinnier. Should I talk these? Probably. Anyway. I will check their tightness with the ratchet though. So we'll get all the plugs put back in. Little red safety tab clip things put back down to lock them in place. And the wiring can clip back in its clippy slots. Cool, so pull it all, fill the cap and the dipstick out. Next we're going to do the air filter. They're all Phillips. I like how high up the air filter is and the air intake for those of you who like to drive through flood waters. I've seen obviously a lot of BMWs and so on have their air intakes quite low down, which is less than ideal if you live in the UK, especially at the moment because the rain has just been non-stop. Literally, I've read so many articles that it hasn't stopped raining for a single day in the UK since the start of 2026, which is somewhat depressing. Welcome to 2026. Here's the rain. And it's not going to stop. So you're just going to have to get used to it. Happy New Year. How the hell do you get that off? 1 and 2. Ooh. So it does have a handy little diagram of how to get it off. You squeeze the sides in, you pull it towards the outside of the filter away from the hose, and it just pops off. But actually it's really, really clean. Almost didn't need to replace that, just pull the leaves off. But it seems we've got a new one, and it's a really nice quality marble one, because that's all they had in bloody stock. It's going to have a nice shiny new one. Shove that in. So I'll put the screws again. That's the air filter done, nice and easy. Air intake hose. Slips in and then goes down. It's in place like that with a bit of foam. Nice. So, spark plugs that came out, they were in pretty good condition to be fair, they weren't that bad. So that's good. A smear of engine oil will come out. Smear of engine oil around the seal, as you should do, and then that will just screw on underneath where we removed it from earlier. Now we're not doing the discs. The discs haven't got any lip on them. The pads really aren't that bad either, but the sort of service and schedules we're talking about, I think it's definitely better to get the pads done and the discs next time. I said I'll service this car next year for him. So by that point, we should be looking like it's due for a set of discs, I reckon.
Should you always change the discs with the pads? Comment below.
Let's get the gun in there, but I don't think I will. I'm going to push the caliper in a little bit by hand, just to make life a little bit easier. Caliper off. A bit frustrated I can't get the gun in there, but anyhow, it is what it is. Good to me. I'll smear a copper grease on these.
So I was just checking there to make sure whether the new pads were the same as the old pads, because I've had it before where they are a completely different shape, or they're too big or too small.
Now, I wouldn't fit these in a rush if I knew it was going to be an issue, but these slide really freely, so I'm content to throw these in as they are. You know, they fit really easily, they're sliding in and out, not a drama. Copper grease is going to help them. These carriers don't need cleaning off on this occasion. What I do need to do, however, is wind in the piston. Not the time to lose things.
So I'm just tightening up the slider pins now. New pads are in. We're very nearly done.
Hammer. Slash chisel, also a very good chisel. You know, anyone says any big screwdriver is just a chisel. It just is. Oh, I love the fact that this is on wheel studs instead of wheel bolts. Pleases me in ways I can't describe. Bad language will not be tolerated. Even if I am the worst person for it sometimes. Right, other side. Take everything that we need to the other side. Didn't need the. We'll take it anyway. Didn't need the gun because it doesn't fit. Oh, a couple of things. course I need to bring you with me, don't I? 40 minutes worth of recording. I'm glad these calipers are quite simple as well. Because that would have been a headache all in itself. These calipers were a nightmare. More access to the ratchet. Oh, I didn't grab any pads. Or did I? Maybe I did. No, I didn't. Again, the pads were whatever was available from your car parts at the time. Trying to do this as cheaply as possible. For the guy, obviously still trying to use semi-premium parts, you know what I mean? I'm still not going to go for Crossland or filter. But got some Acre pads. They're alright, I suppose. Your car parts is sort of budget brand. Then you've got Bosch, Brembo, Padgett. I think in that order. I certainly like to put Brembo discs on my car, just because the coating on the Brembo disc, it's almost like a powder coat or a paint. Whereas the Padgetts are like a sort of zinky, silvery sort of coating. This I don't think it's as good. I've had them wear before. And I mean, this shows again how easy it is. I've just done brake pads on this. That's easy, wasn't it? If you're not confident with anything safety related, or I mean really engine related, then don't. Go to a garage, that's fine. Try and avoid the big chains, Halfords, Quick Fit. Ugh. Go to a small independent local garage. They're 9 times out of 10 not trying to screw you over. And they're honest, hard-working. They've got more to lose than a corporation have over a bad review. You know what I mean? So I'll always back small local garages over a corporation. And when I say I'm stopping doing other people's cars, obviously this is another person's car. I know. But I've decided, yes, I am stopping doing other people's cars with regards to big jobs. So servicing and stuff, I'm still doing servicing because I enjoy doing servicing. Servicing's actually quite good fun. As you can see, I'm smiling. Doing big jobs, clutches, even timing belts in some cars. Even timing belts in some cars, I'm just saying no. I'm not interested in the hassle. These torqued up. Try and look at the star pattern. Go back into the plastic baggie. Now, a bit frustrating. You didn't have 5 litres of this engine oil. You only had individual litre bottles. That's fine. From what I can tell, it takes 4 litres according to the Google. So we will put in 4 litres. Nice quality stuff, Mobil. This engine will thank me for it. Good. This one is currently full. Obviously the oil filter is going to take a capacity, so that should bring us up to the correct mark. I will put the dipstick in, start the engine. Put the engine cover back on. Let that run for a minute. Whilst that's idling, we've got one more filter to do. The cabin filter. Let's get it. Astra Airflow glove box. Let's open the glove box and have a look. The thing with cabin filters, they don't have to put them in awkward places. There we go, I've got it. Ah, cabin filter. It's supposed to have screws, but there aren't any. It has been done before. Potentially, I don't know actually. If it has, it was done by the dealer. Because it's a man filter, but it's the genuine one. Opal. So, good to know that the factory filter is a man filter. The inside's actually not that bad. It's not great, it's not bad. I'll stop talking about it and actually do it. Always use the arrow for the airflow. It's going to go top to bottom on this car. It's an easy. Clip back in. Put the clips back out. Just needed to be a man about it. Well, right, it's the cabin filter done. Switch off the engine. We'll recheck the engine oil level. Timer. 3 minutes and 27 minutes. 3 minutes and 27 minutes. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Full service, cabin filter, spark plugs, and brake pads done in under an hour. I think that's pretty good, don't you? We're just on the minimum mark, looking at that. So give it a wipe, top it off the rest of the way with what's left. I'll trust that it is 4 litres, but I will leave a little bit behind. We'll call it quits when the bonnet's closed. Service done. Phone. 1 minute 46. Cancel. Service complete. God, I'm good. That's it. Message sent. All done. Happy days. So yes, as you can see, there is carnage around me. But I did do a service on an Astra K, 2019 Astra 1 litre petrol, in under an hour. Cabin filter, air filter, oil, spark plugs, brake pads, all done in under an hour. I think that's pretty good going. I'm genuinely quite proud of myself for that. I am very sweaty, and it's mostly because I'm quite fat, and it is quite warm in here. But yeah, another job well done. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. I really appreciate every single person who subscribed. We are way over 200 subscribers now. My recent TikTok video did 30,000 views, which is just insane. It was literally me having a shocked moment that a wet belt hadn't been changed in a few years. So yeah, thank you, every single one of you. Really appreciate it. So once again, thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one. Obviously, we've just knocked out that service in the hour. Now I'm just sort of doing a bit of a tidy up on the workshop floor, resetting the service interval, which I suppose should have been within that hour, but it has only taken me
about a minute to do it, so I'd still be within the time. But more importantly, this is a Vauxhall with 0 fault codes, 2019. So it's what, I was 6 years old now? 7 years old nearly. And there are 0 codes for anything. Which is, yeah, pretty damn good. I am impressed. Well done, the Vauxhall. Stop, start. Dunno. Let's go with not fitted. Codes menu. Read codes. I just want to check the engine specifically. No codes present. She's all good. Let's put her to bed.